Good morning and welcome to episode 8 of the Crazy Sock Lady podcast. My name is Kay and I am coming to you from Havelock, North Carolina, where I live with my husband, our 2 sons, and our 2 dogs, one of which I actually have on my lap today, and she is just about to get down. I think she's just about had enough. She likes some attention, mainly from my husband. If you're scratching her, she will like you. She likes to have her chest scratched. Let's see if she'll say hi and cooperate. This is Miss Gracie Belle. Can you say hi, Miss Gracie Belle? She says no. She is a sassy little thing. I think it's the Chihuahua that she has in her. She's very sassy and she's the queen. She runs the house. She demands attention when she wants it. But she's so adorable. And let's be honest, it's our fault she's as spoiled as she is. We just love her so much, huh? She's looking outside at the squirrels. So she will probably hop down soon. Like I said, she wants attention when she wants it. And as soon as I start doing something with my hands other than scratching her chest, she will be gone out of here. She will no longer want to be in my presence. So yes, welcome. A big welcome to new viewers. I have had a lot of new subscribers lately, so welcome to all of you new viewers. Thank you so much for checking me out. And for all my returning viewers, thank you so much for coming back week after week to listen to me ramble about all of my yarny goodness that I have going on. I love doing this and I love getting to interact with all of you. So thank you so much for watching. It means a lot. And that brings me to last week. I had mentioned once we got over 500 subscribers on YouTube and 1,000 followers on Instagram, we would have a big giveaway. Well, guess what, guys? We are over 500 on YouTube. Gracie's gone, and I'm covered in dog hair now. Dog mom life here. It's real life. But as I was saying, we are over 500 on YouTube. We are almost to 1,000 on Instagram, so be sure to keep an eye out for that giveaway. It will be happening soon. And I already have one prize I showed you last week, the bag that I have from Steel City Stitcher. And I also have another prize coming in the mail, so that'll be super fun. It'll be just a fun giveaway, nothing crazy. You won't have to do anything crazy. So keep an eye out for that, and I will post as soon as I have all the prizes and as soon as we've reached 1,000 followers on Instagram. I don't know if I said, it's November 8th. It's a little after 9 in the morning. It's a gorgeous sunny morning, a little bit chilly. We finally turned our heat on last night. We've been holding out. We've been in the desert for 2 years, and this cold is just, oh, it's like cold to the bone, and it's not even that cold yet. I just keep thinking, oh my goodness, it's going to get colder. Like, it's really gonna get colder. I forgot how cold the winters can be after being in Arizona, I think. You just forget what that feels like. So I've been freezing. We finally turned the heat on last night, and it was wonderful because I have been going to bed. Now, mind you, it's been getting in the 40s some nights, just in the 40s. I think this morning it was 40 degrees. That's Fahrenheit. And yeah, I've been going to sleep. Last night I went to sleep, and this was with the heat on. We had the heat on, and I still wore socks. I hate sleeping in socks. I wore socks, pajama pants, a t-shirt, a zip-up hoodie, and then I had our sheet, quilt, and I had a crochet blanket on. I just cannot get warm. I don't know what it is. I'm freezing all the time with this weather. And it doesn't feel too bad in here today. Like I said, the heat's on, but it's laundry day. I'm doing laundry today, and our washer and dryer, the hookups are in the garage. So I keep having to go out into the cold garage to do laundry. I think I'm gonna have to get a space heater or something. This is the first time we've ever had a washer and dryer be in our garage. We've usually had a laundry room. So I'm so cold, and it's right by the door that goes to the side yard. So, it's just so cold out there. I don't know. I'm a big baby, a big wimp when it comes to the cold weather now. I miss the desert, winter already, and we're just into fall. Oh my goodness. I will adjust. I know I will. I adjusted to Yuma. When we moved to Yuma, I thought, oh my gosh, it is so hot. I cannot stand this. After we were there a year, I was like, yeah, it's hot, but whatever. And it was like 110 degrees. So you do adjust, your body adjusts, and it's crazy how your body just kind of acclimates to the different regions that you live in. Can you guys hear Gracie growling at Chloe? She wants to play and Chloe does not. I told you, she is the boss of this house. So anyways, yes, enough rambling about how I am freezing. But my youngest son actually wore his like big puffy winter coat today. And it was only 40 and I thought, really, you want that big jacket on? He did. He'll probably wear it all day. He'll get off the bus with it on this afternoon. Who knows? He's as cold as I am, I guess, because I had on a sweatshirt and a fleece jacket this morning. But anyways, okay. Administrative stuff. We do have a few things I just want to mention. We still have the gift along going on. Don't forget about that. It's for any holiday gift that you are knitting, crocheting, making in any way. You can enter that in. I have a chatter and an FO thread in my group, and then I am co-hosting it with Jessamyn from the Knitted Towel podcast, and she also has chatter and FO threads in her group. Just please be a member of both groups and enter anything that you're making as a gift. Pretty simple. That will end on November 30th, and then we will draw prizes for that. She will be drawing prizes out of her group, and I will be drawing prizes out of mine. I showed you last week a bag that she had sent over for a prize. I do have an item today that I have for a prize. Oh, and I showed you last week the bag too from Molly Klein Design that will be a prize as well. So far we have 2 bags, and I do have another little goodie, but I'll show that later on. And I'll let you know when I show it that that's what it's for. So yes, I think that is it for that. And the winners that we had from the giveaways, the ones I announced last week, they have all contacted me, and prizes will be going out this week for those. I have some swap packages and other goodies that I need to mail out as well. And country living, guys, I don't want to make more than one trip to the post office. So I'm getting it all done this week, and they will be out by the end of the week. Maybe that's not just country living. Maybe no one wants to make more than one trip to a post office in a week. I hate having to wait in the lines. There are long lines sometimes, and that's just gonna get worse as we get closer to Christmas. So yes, I will be making one trip with all the packages. And it seems like I will go weeks without needing to send something out. But when I need to send something out, I go in with like huge bag of stuff to send out. So kind of works out to just go once every now and then. I think that is it for administrative stuff. I think that's it. Pretty simple today, guys. We breezed right through that. We had a pretty relaxing weekend. We didn't do anything really at all. Ran to town a few times, mainly for iced coffee because I have a huge addiction to iced coffee. I just need to try to make it at home myself, but it's just not as good. Does anyone have a good recipe you could send my way for some delicious iced coffee? Because no matter how cold I am, I've just been saying how cold I am, but I'm still drinking iced coffee. I don't know, I just love iced coffee. I would rather have iced coffee than hot coffee. So I did run to town a few times to grab some coffee this weekend, but other than that, I did not get out of my sweatpants. I relaxed all weekend. I got a good amount of knitting done. We had a bonfire and did some s'mores. It was just nice. It was fun. It's good to have those weekends every now and then where you're not running around all the time and having to get out of your sweatpants. Oh. So yeah, that was fun. It was very relaxing. Today I am just drinking some tea, of course. I picked this up at Target. It's just mint tea. I love mint and I love peppermint. This time of year, peppermint everything. Like peppermint mocha is back at Starbucks, and you better believe tomorrow when I'm down by Starbucks, I'm getting one. Peppermint bark. So bad. Oh my gosh, it's so good though. But yes, that's what I'm drinking today in my Doctor Who mug. Nice big mug. That is still really hot. I'm surprised because it took me forever to get set up, but that is still really hot. Okay, FOs. I do have FOs this week, guys. If you follow me on Instagram, you of course already saw these. get the Gracie hair off of them. Since she was up here, it's everywhere. Okay, these are a Christmas gift. I won't say for who, just in case she would watch. But I got these done. You guys have seen these as a work in progress for a while. But they are now done. They're done. And this pattern, I used the Gravel Socks by Mina Philipp. And I really like it. It was a simple pattern, very easy to do. And I did them cuff down, fish lips kiss heel, and 2.25 millimeter 9-inch circulars is how I worked these up. And then when I got down to the toe and started the toe decreases, I switched to magic loop. So they worked up really fast. I love doing this. I say they worked up really fast. What am I talking about? I'm totally lying. They took me forever to do. When I actually worked on them, they worked up really fast. But I cannot stay focused on one project. I like to go to all the projects, like cast on all the things, and then poor socks sit in bags for a while. So yes, I lied. These didn't work up that fast. They would have. It was a simple pattern if I would have worked on them. But now they are done. They're done. Another Christmas gift is done. And I used Nitpick Stroll fingering for these. The black is just, they're black. And the gray is Ash, was the name of the colorway. And I think that was it about those. Oh, I did cast on 64 stitches in case anyone was wondering for those. And I'm very excited that they're done. And I think the recipient will love them because these are the colors that they requested for their socks. They already know they're getting socks, but those are the colors that they requested. They're gonna know exactly who they're for. I'm so bad at surprises. I make things like this and then they sit here and I'm like, oh my goodness, but I just wanted to show them a picture. Like, I just want to give it to them now. Do I have to wait till Christmas? I get so excited about my gifts. Okay, that is it for those. My next FO, this yarn is a crazy yarn, and it came to me from my friend Mina in Arizona. I'm going to show you the tag. It says it's by Bloomingdale Farm. I've searched high and low. They don't have like an Etsy or a website to buy anything. I did find a blog with an email, so I've contacted them because I actually want to see if I can order more, because I just think it would be fun to do different little mug rugs, I guess, with, which is what I did with this. And the yarn is hand spun. The colorway is the rainbow. For fiber, it says multi, and you'll see why in a minute. But there is the tag. And I made, it was 50 yards. I got 3 mug rugs out of it. I did cut a little chunk of yarn out of it, and I'll tell you why in a second. But these are crazy, guys. These are absolutely crazy. It is just like leftover bits. There's yarn, there's ribbon, there's unspun fiber, there's everything. I'm gonna move my tea for just a minute because there were some little bits falling out of here and I don't want to drink up any unspun fiber. But this one I'm keeping for myself. This one is for me. And look how crazy that is. But at first I was like, do I love it or do I not like it? I think I love it. It's just so funky. I don't know. So that is one. Here is the second one. And I'm not sure. I think I used a US 10 to do these. And I just cast on 15 and then just went. I had my mug that I was drinking out of sitting right there, and I just kept setting my mug on it to see how long it should be and just went with that. But this is, it's just crazy. I mean, you can see some of the ribbon, little like unspun bits of fiber just thrown in there. And this is the third one. I got 3 out of that. And like I said, I did cut a little bit out. It had like, I think it's called like Fun Fur. I don't know what it's called. They like, you get it at a big box store. You can probably get it at other stores too as well, probably. But I've seen it at big box stores, like the funky furry looking, and there was a whole section that had that like wound in with it, and it wasn't a huge section, but I took that out because I was not impressed, and it was going in the one I was keeping for myself. That's what it was in. So I was like, I'm just gonna cut this chunk out and cross my fingers that I have enough to finish it, because mine was the last one I did, and thankfully I still had enough to finish it. But yeah, those are super cute, and a few of them will be going out to friends this week in packages, but I did decide to keep that one for myself because I loved this middle section here. I loved the blues. So I decided to keep one for myself. And it'll be nice. I always sit where I sit in this room, I put this is what I usually use, and this was crocheted, and I think it was a 100% cotton yarn, probably just like a Sugar and Cream or whatever those brands are called from a Michael's or Joann's or anywhere like that. So this is what I usually use. I have it sitting on the windowsill. That's actually where I usually set my cups. So now I will have this too, because I usually always have 2 cups. I always have water and tea or something else. So now I will have 2. But anyways, not that you cared what I set my cups on. But yeah, this pattern, I cannot remember the name of it, but it was a free pattern, I believe, on Ravelry. I may have a projects page for it if you're interested in that, because they do make super cute gifts. And you could probably even do a bunch of these and make a blanket. It's just a really easy, cute pattern. So if you're really interested in what this is, let me know. Shoot me a message on Instagram or Ravelry, and I will find out for you for sure. Or I'll try to put it in the show notes if I remember, because I'm sure I can find out what pattern it was. Okay, that is it for FOs. And those 3 mug rugs or coasters, whatever you want to call them, I did those yesterday. I just whipped them out in the afternoon. I should have been working on projects. That was not even on my list to do yesterday. I had a list of things I wanted to get done yesterday. Mug rugs were nowhere on that list. Nowhere. Oh, I got distracted. So, anyways, now we will move into whips. I have 4 whips to show you this week. One, I guess, qualifies as a hoe. I'm gonna try it on for you here so you can see it. And this, Cassie, if you are watching, I don't think you do, but if you're watching, skip ahead a little bit, okay? Because this is your birthday gift and I don't want to ruin it for you. So last chance, skip ahead. I will know if you've seen it. We're sisters. I'll just know. Don't watch. Okay? You gone? All right. And don't listen either. Don't listen. Just skip ahead. No peeking. So this is from my sister Cassie. I already have her Christmas gift done. I've had it done for a little while, and maybe I'll bring them out and show them at some point, or I'll show pictures maybe after Christmas, just in case she would watch. I don't want to ruin the surprise. But yes, I already had those done, and then I saw this yarn, and I believe I saw it on Naughty Knitwit's podcast. I believe. I could be wrong, but I believe Michelle was making a pair of socks or something with it. So I saw this yarn, and I thought, Cassie needs something in this yarn. She needs something in this yarn. She's obsessed with The Wizard of Oz. She always has been. And it's just not like oh, I like that movie. It's which I don't think she's quite as obsessed anymore. I should say that. But it was just a full-blown obsession. Every inch of her room was covered in some kind of Wizard of Oz something. Dolls, posters, signs, like you name it, she had it in The Wizard of Oz. And that is what people would get her as gifts. It's great having a sister who is that crazy about something, because it's easy to find her gifts. You can find something Wizard of Oz pretty easy. So yes, I've done her cross-stitch picture with Wizard of Oz. So I just saw this yarn, had to have it. So this is for her birthday, which is December 2nd. I have one done. Look at this yarn. Oh my goodness. I'm in love with it. I just love it. Oh my gosh, she's gonna go nuts. I really think she's going to go nuts. So the yarn is from Neeley's Knits. I do have the tag. The colorway is called I'm Melting. And it's just perfect. The Wicked Witch, the Ruby Slippers, you've got it all. So there's Neeley's Knits on her Super Sock base, which is an 80-20 blend. And the colorway, like I said, is I'm Melting. And this is what I have left after one. I've been kind of weighing as I go with this. This came as just a mini. This is the red on a sparkle base. Came as just a mini. So I've been trying to weigh as I go to make sure I have enough left for the second mitt, which I think I'll be perfectly fine. And I still have a ton of this left. I'm gonna have so much of this left. So I think what I'm probably gonna end up doing, I don't think I'll have enough of this, but I should be able to find another red fingering weight, you know, not a huge deal to find that. So I think I'm gonna make my niece, my sister who these gloves are for, her daughter, a pair of socks out of this. How cute would that be? And I don't think they'll be done by Christmas. I'm not gonna kid myself on that, but maybe I could put them aside for next Halloween. That would be cute. She could have some little witch socks for Halloween. So eventually that is what I would like to do with the leftovers. But I've got one done and I am super excited about how it turned out. This is my first fingering weight fingerless mitt. I've done the paddle mitts, which you guys have seen 3 pairs of those. And that was a DK weight and they went super fast. And this went fast as well. I just kind of breezed right through it. So I need to get the second one cast on and get it done so that I can have it out to her by her birthday. And the pattern that I used for that is a free pattern on Ravelry, and it is called Simple Fingerless Mitts. And this does not say who the designer is, but if you just search this, it should pop up. And I have a projects page. So if you can't find it by searching for the pattern and you're wanting it, just go to my projects page and everything is linked in there. And I'll put it in the show notes as well to link you to the project. So yeah, I followed the pattern exactly, other than I just added some length to this cuff and to this cuff. I think I might have done an extra row on this. I'll make sure to count everything up and put it in notes in the project page for my future reference as well, and for yours if you're wanting to do them with the longer cuffs, because I definitely think I'll be using up some fingering weight yarn to do fingerless mitts. Probably not this year. I'm not gonna lie about that, but yeah, eventually I will use this pattern again because it was super easy and they're just a very light, great fitting glove. The decreases, or not the decreases, the increases for the thumb gusset were very simple to do. Everything was written out fine. I had no problems understanding the pattern. And I used, it calls for a 2.75 millimeter needle. I used a 2.5 millimeter needle. I used my Audry sock rockets and I did it magic loop. So that is how I worked mine up. But everything else was the same other than lengthening the cuff and the different needle size. And I just kind of thought that would work better. I tend to be a loose knitter, especially with fingering weight. So I thought going down that little bit would work out good. And it did. I'm happy with how they're going. How the first one, it's perfect. So I need to get going on the second. All right. And that, is there any other bag like to put this in? Nope. It had to go in my Wizard of Oz bag from Stitchin Ewe Bags. And this is the one I joked that my sister would probably steal. That's the sister that the gloves are for, because obviously. And like I've said before, her bags are just some of my favorites. I love, love her bags. So that is one whip. And let's see, I think that was all that I wanted to say about that. That was it. Okay, another whip is a Christmas gift. That one was a birthday gift. I keep saying it's a Christmas gift because her birthday is just so close to Christmas. That is for her birthday. Okay, another whip. Which one is this in? This is in my bag from Molly Klein Design with the jingle bell. And for this, I'm using Hermione's Everyday Socks. And the only difference I have done is I put in a Fish Lips Kiss Heel. But these are for my sister-in-law for Christmas. These will be the first pair of socks that I've ever made her. So hopefully she will love them and hopefully they fit. But I cast on 64, 2.25 millimeter, and I am using my ChowGoo 9-inch circulars for this. And it's easy, guys, and everyone I think has done Hermione's at this point, and if you haven't, you should definitely give it a try. I'm using the Hermione's for the texture pattern. I'm not, like I said, I've done a different heel. I did the same. It calls for 20 rows of ribbing. That's kind of my standard for ribbing. So I did do 20 rows of ribbing for the cuff. And now I'm ready to get going on the foot. And it should really breeze by once I get going. These, when I showed them, I posted a picture on Instagram. It's a Saturday or Sunday. I can't remember which day. But I had done the heel, or I was getting ready to do the heel, I think. I think I needed to do the heel and then the foot. But that part just seems to breeze by once I get going on it. So I had the rest of that done in a day. So if I would really sit down and focus on this, I could have it done in no time at all, because this stitch pattern is not as involved as that one. That one I had to look a little bit more at the pattern. I never really got to where I could just had it in my brain and could breeze right through it. I had to pay attention to the pattern a little bit. But Hermione's, I can just look, okay, that's the last row I did. This is what the next row is. So it's very, very simple to do. And the yarn that I'm using is Knit Picks Stroll Fingering. I use that for this. I'm using it for these. And as you will see, I purchased more. I really recommend it, guys. It is super soft. Don't look at the price and think, oh, I'm not gonna like that yarn. Because it is, you know, the price is excellent on it. But the quality is good. I love it, especially getting it for heels, toes, and cuffs, which is some of the stuff I'm going to show you that I purchased recently. I purchased to have on hand for heels, toes, and cuffs. So I highly recommend it. But the blue is a blue topaz. And if you haven't used this, their fingering weight is, it comes in 50-gram balls, so 231 yards, and it's a 75% superwash merino and a 25% nylon. It's excellent. I have a few socks for myself. I don't think any for the boys. I take that back. Their Halloween socks had some in it. But I have a few socks for myself that are all Knit Pick Stroll yarns, and they've held up wonderfully. I have no complaints about any of them. So I definitely recommend it. But that's what the blue is, and the gray is Dove Heather. So that is another, do you like my jingle bell? I think it drives my husband nuts. That is another whip. And I just need to get going on that second one. Okay, next up. What is next? Next, we have some socks for my other sister. So Courtney, you already know you're getting these, so you can watch if you want, I guess. Okay. But honestly though, I doubt either of my sisters watch. They're not knitters. I think I've said that before. They don't knit. I did teach my youngest sister to crochet when she visited me one time in Florida, and she was kind of a natural at it. She picked it right up, and I think that was the first time she'd ever done it. She picked it right up. She had no tension problems. Her tension was spot on from the get-go. I told her that is extremely rare. Like, usually you're either way too tight or you're way too loose with knitting and crochet. But she picked it right up, and she was just crocheting along while she was at my house, and then I don't think she ever did it again. So sadly, neither of my sisters do anything like that. Maybe one day. Okay, these socks, she picked this yarn out when I was back in West Virginia over the summer. She kind of tagged along when I went to a local yarn store with my friend Jenny from Mountain State Stitches. Etsy shop. So she tagged along with us, and I said, if you want some socks, you need to pick out your yarn, because the story behind why I made her pick out her yarn, I had ordered some yarn from Nomadic Yarns. Gorgeous striping yarn, gorgeous colors, super bright and fun. I loved that yarn, and I thought these will be perfect for Courtney, which is my youngest sister. She will love these. Well, then I kind of started second guessing myself, and I was like, will she? I don't know. So I can't remember exactly how I did it. I was in like a group message with both of my sisters, and I sent them this yarn and asked them their opinions on it and would they like anything out of this yarn. And my youngest sister was like, no. So my middle sister, luckily, which it wouldn't have mattered because I would have made socks for myself out of this yarn, but she loved the yarn. So that is what her Christmas gift is out of. And then I was like, what do I do with Courtney? Because apparently I have no idea what she likes anymore. So when we were at the yarn store, I told her, you have to pick out your own yarn. If you want me to make you socks, pick out your yarn and I will make you socks. So she picked out, it is HPKY hand painted knitting yarns, and there is no colorway listed on this. I was so sad that there was no colorway, but this is the label. And yeah, it's just a basic 75-25 merino nylon. And I have gotten, oh, I thought I dropped some stitches. We're good. Crisis averted. I need to put a stopper on the end of these. I have gotten this much done. Let's go ahead and show you that. This is the yarn she picked. I never, ever in a million years would have picked these colors for her. So apparently I don't know my sister as well as I think I do, because I never would have picked greens and browns and tan and cream. Never. I mean, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous colors, gorgeous yarn, but this is something I would have picked for one of my boys. Or, I mean, I would like it because I love greens, but I just never, she's so, I don't know, I just never would have picked this for her. If you know my sister, if you're someone who knows me personally and you know my sister, you will probably be shocked by this as well. I know my friend Jenny was surprised that she picked this. So yeah, I just never would have picked this for her. She's just so bright and bubbly sometimes. I just thought she would have gravitated towards brighter colors, but she did not. But for this, I'm using 2.25 millimeter as usual, and I only cast on 60 stitches for her. My youngest sister is like the tiniest, skinniest, petite. She's so tiny. And I thought, do I do 60 or my standard 64? And then I had a picture from over the summer, and she's standing by my oldest son, Austin. And I was looking at the picture and I'm like, I think their calves are the same size. And Austin, I do 60 for his. So I thought, I'm just gonna go with 60. I think there's some stretch to it, and I think it'll be just fine. So I cast on 60, did 20 rows of ribbing, and now I'm just going down the leg. So they are moving right along. And I am trying to, when I first started doing socks, I was all about having my little notebook and marking my rows as I went. But that does kind of slow me down because you do a row, you have to stop and mark a row, and then you go back and you do a row and you mark a row. And yeah, I could get a row counter for my finger, but I go back and forth from projects so much, I think it would be a pain trying to keep track of different projects. Because when I just started doing socks when I first started doing socks, I should say, I wouldn't have more than one sock going at a time. I was a one sock girl, you know, I worked on that one sock project and then moved on to the next. Now I have so many going, I think it would just be confusing to try to go back and forth and remember and have to write down. So what I've been doing is taking a page out of Philipp's book and counting my rows. So I'm using stitch markers as I go, and I marked with this since I didn't change colors. I put this progress keeper in here to mark the first row of the leg so that I can count how many rows I do for the leg. When I get to the heel, I will use a progress keeper to mark the first row of the heel because I'll do fish lips kiss. So then I'll know for the second sock how many rows I did for the leg, how many rows I did for the foot, and so on. I think that's gonna work better. And I think it was Mina's latest podcast, and she was talking about how she marks her rows and how that's better than measuring, because the way that you lay the sock out, sometimes if it's stretched a little bit or just the way it's laid out, that measurement can change, and that makes complete sense. And that's why I used to mark my rows, but like I said, the way I was doing it was just majorly slowing me down. So then I was trying to just measure, and then they were not always coming out exact. So I'm going back to counting, but I'm not gonna keep tally marks of my rows. I'm just gonna count them as I go. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully it works out. I'm trying to do it on all of the projects that I have going on right now. Like the socks I just showed you for my sister-in-law. I know that cuff was 20 rows, the leg was 61 rows, and then the fish lips kiss heel. So now I just have to do the foot and see how many rows that takes. But I think it will really work out, and I think it will save me a lot of time because I will not have to be stopping after every row to do a tally mark on my sheet of paper. But that is this whip, another Christmas present, so yay for that. I did a lot of casting on this week, guys. A lot. I cast on quite a few things within one day. It was kind of crazy. Amber of Yarn Hoarder posted a picture of all the things she was casting on, and I was like, I want to cast on all the things. So I did, but I was productive about it, and I cast on Christmas gifts. So that makes it all right. It does. So this is in my bag from Jessamyn of the Knitted Towel podcast that she sent me, and I really like this bag. It's cute, and I love the drawstring. And I have just one more whip, just one more. I am making a mess here. I have like 4 things I've forgotten to put back in bags as I zip them up. It's a mess, podcasting, really, truly. Like, the setting up isn't that bad, but the cleaning up afterwards, oh my goodness. Ugh. Okay, my last whip that I'm going to show you guys, and there's still more. My sweater, oh my goodness, I have got to work on my sweater. I have not touched it since the last time I showed it, I don't think. No, and I don't even remember, it was like 2 episodes ago probably, right? And I was past the block. I was past the block. I was truly past the block. It was good, it was moving along, and then really what happened is I thought I need to do some Christmas knitting. So it's sitting over there. I can see the bag right now, and I would love to be working on it, but I'm not. Hopefully soon. But this whip is in another bag from Molly Klein Design. Just a super cute, fun Rugrats fabric. And this whip is kind of blowing my mind, okay? It's blowing my mind. Last week, of course, I've always seen 2 at a time socks, but I don't know that I have ever seen someone in person working on them. I've seen pictures, I've seen podcasts where they're doing it, tutorials, I've watched tutorials on how to do it, I've never tried it, and I don't know that I've ever seen someone actually doing it in person, in real life. So my knitting group at our meeting last Friday, one of the gals that comes was doing 2 at a time socks. I was bitten by the bug, guys. I was bitten. So I came home from knitting. It's over at noon. I came home. The only thing I did that afternoon was start 2 at a time socks. That's all I did. And I'm using matching DPN Cozy from Klein Design. And the socks. Are you ready for this? It's pretty exciting. Truly, it's exciting. I'm kind of twisted up here. I'm rearranging. Here they are. Look at those. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited that I'm actually doing this. And this pattern is the Blueberry Waffles. And this is my first time doing this, and I love it. And I think the majority of the socks that I will be casting on in the near future will be this pattern because I'm kind of obsessed with it right now. So yes, the back is just plain stockinette. Front, Blueberry Waffles. And I'm loving 2 at a time. Absolutely loving it. The needles that I'm using are Hiya Sharps, and I did not have any of my size that I use, which is a 2.25 millimeter US 1 in a 40-inch cable. So I'm just using a 32-inch, and it's actually working fine. Now, if I were doing something with a higher count than 64, I think it would be an even tighter squeeze, because it is kind of a tight squeeze, but I just don't have all that extra cable. It works perfect for the count that I'm doing. So those are the needles, and I love these, but they are irritating the end of my finger a little bit. I'm trying to change the way that I knit, because the way I'm knitting now, I'm poking the end of my finger, and these are sharp, obviously. So the yarn that I'm using is Legacy Fiber Artz, their Winnie Sanderson colorway on their steel toes base, which is a 75-25. And here is the cake. And look how gorgeous. I love this yarn. I love it. I really, really wanted a shawl. I wanted something to wrap around my neck with it. But I was not happy with, I just couldn't find one that spoke to me that only used one skein. And I was like, oh, I can match it up, but I don't know. It was just sitting there, and I was just looking at it, and it needed to be made into something for me to wear ASAP. I should have just ordered 2. That's what I should have done, because I loved it so much. I should have just gotten 2. And then if I wanted to make socks, I would have just had an extra pair. If I wanted to do a shawl, I would have had plenty to do a shawl. But I didn't. So I only have 1. And you'll see this here, I am using the button trick that Connie from Chile Knits showed Chelsea from Legacy Fiber Arts how to do. And what you do with that, you're working both socks from the same cake. You're not splitting your cake into 2. You just take the yarn from the inside and put it through one buttonhole, from the outside put it through another buttonhole, and it keeps them from just becoming a big huge tangled mess. There are a few times where it's gotten wound just where the outside one goes around, and I just have to take my needle and turn my work, but it's working just fine. There's nothing, I would think it's much easier than having to do 2 cakes and weigh it. It's not that that's a huge problem, but this is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Give you a little bit of a closer look there. So yeah, it just, you've got your button, both strands through the button, and I just leave it sitting right there, and then the button will kind of move around as the outside one just when you're working on that sock. But it's working great. I have no complaints about doing it this way, because I never would have done it off of the same cake, because I would have thought huge tangled mess, not going to do it. but this truly does work. So definitely give it a try. If you do 2-at-a-time socks, or you're wanting to learn 2-at-a-time socks and you don't want to do 2 cakes, give it a try. The worst that can happen is you'll have to start over or cut your yarn and then wind it into 2 cakes. So give it a try. And this, I'm still using my, I thought, how am I going to use my DPN cozies with 2-at-a-time socks? But it's working. I just slide this one down on the cable and then make sure that one's snug in between the two snaps. And it works just fine because these needles are so sharp. I just know they would poke through a bag or my work would fall off. So I love those. DPN cozies, you guys know that I love those. I've talked about them many times. Okay, that is it for whips. I don't think there was anything else I wanted to say about those. So blueberry waffles, 64 stitches around. And the blueberry waffles, if you go to look at that pattern, it does say it is for DK weight. I just went with my 64 stitches and used it for that, and I haven't had any problems. It's working just fine. I think that was it about those. Okay, now we're gonna get into some goodies that I got in the mail. Okay, I'm just gonna bring the box over. There's a box of stuff. Okay, where can I set this? I'm gonna have to rearrange a little bit here. There we go. All right, first thing I will show you guys, this is going to be, one of these will be a prize for the gift along that is going on right now that I talked about earlier. And these are from Gnome Acres. It is the Christmas Party Mini Collection. And these are super cute. I ordered, you've seen my Cozy Memories blanket with their minis from their Halloween collection. I love their yarn, and I don't think they have any more of these in stock, so I guess it's kind of a teaser showing them to you. But I missed out. I should have ordered, I wanted to order some like normal skeins, and I totally missed out. They're not doing the pre-orders. I don't know if they'll do any more before Christmas either. This might have been the only one. But don't hold me to that. Follow them on Instagram, and they always post about their updates. Okay, but there are 6 mini skeins in here, and they are 20 yards each. They are perfect for my Cozy Memories blanket. I still have just a little bit left over afterwards. It is on their house gnome base. The colorway names are super cute. There's fruitcake, mistletoe, Eddie Griswold, eggnog, Christmas ham, and under the tree. There's another little peek at those. And this will be one of the prizes for the gift along, with some stitch markers too. I'll throw in some other little goodies with it as well. And I ordered one for myself, for my blanket, of course. I had to. So that is one of the goodies I received in the mail this week. Let's see what was next. I'm trying to go in order on my list here so I don't get too confused. Sorry guys, I'm rearranging, trying not to make too big of a mess, make myself extra work for later. Okay, Yarn Enabler. Everyone knows Yarn Enabler. You know the pencil socks. Who doesn't? I have pencil sock yarn, but I have not worked it up yet. That will be next fall for sure, for myself, because my boys weren't that interested in them. They're boys. If they were girls, they would have been like, oh my gosh, make me pencil socks now. They're boys. They could care less. So I have the regular one, but then she did a like yarn of the month club for the pencil socks. So if you did that and you have not gotten your October yet, I'm sure you have, because I got this, I think, the day after the last time I podcasted. So last week. So you should have gotten it by now, but if you have not, look away, skip ahead, something. So this is her October, and I only ordered 1 month. I kind of just wanted to see what it would be like. Next time she has signups, I'll probably go do at least another month, if not more, because I love it. It is Lady Gray. Look how pretty that is. It's like a, it's almost like a bluish, grayish. Oh my goodness, it's gorgeous. And then you have, of course, got your erasers, 2 minis for that. And then for your lead for the bottom of your socks, there's 2 minis for that as well. There's her label. And these are an 80/20 merino nylon blend, 420 yards. And she is on Etsy, so definitely check her out. I'm sure everybody already knows about the Yarn Enabler because she is awesome. And the Dye Another Day podcast, that's great too. That's one of my favorites to watch. And she also put in some lady gray tea. And I've actually never tried this, so I'm really excited to give it a try. I'll have to now that I've shown this and I can. Okay. Next is my Knit Picks order. Guys, does Knit Picks get you every time? Do you get on Knit Picks and you have maybe $30 worth of stuff in your cart and you go to your cart and it says, if you spend $20 more, you can get free shipping. And you think, okay, yeah, I want free shipping. I do that every time. Why? Because shipping's not $20, so it's not like that evens out at all. But in my brain, I'm like, yes, I got free shipping, woohoo! So that happened. It happened in a big way. In this big of a way. It happened. But at least some of these are for like specific projects. That's good, right? I didn't just randomly buy some yarn. Not all of it anyway. Some of it was just kind of a random purchase, but I think that's okay. All right, so I will breeze through these quickly and then I will show you what is for what project. What's going on in my brain with these. All right, so I ordered, and these are all stroll fingering, all of them, same thing. This is their dandelion base, 2 of those. And Everglade Heather. And this, I'll go ahead and tell you, this is probably just going to be heels, toes, and cuffs for something, or shorties for Wyatt. I don't know. This was a random purchase. This was too. This is Forest Heather. I hope these collars are showing up okay. They look a little blown out on the screen, so hopefully they're not really. I know sometimes the screen makes them look a little different. And then I get on the computer and it looks just fine. Okay, and then I ordered 2 black, just regular black. That's the name of the colorway. Two white. And I will need a little bit of this for a project, but the extra, I thought that'll be perfect for heels, toes, and cuffs for my socks, not for my husband's or my boys, because they're dirty, stinky boys, right? They don't get white. All right, last one. I ordered 3 of the Sapphire Heather. And I guess you don't need to see all 3. Okay, now, what am I gonna do with all these? First, these, the dandelion and the black. I am going to make Steelers socks for my mother for Christmas. She knows she's getting these, so if she watches and she sees this, she knows because she requested these collars. I asked her if she would like socks for Christmas. She said yes, and then asked her, you know, what collars would you like? And she said Steelers collars. She's a Steelers fan. So I'm not sure how I'm gonna do these. No idea. I tried to find maybe some self-striping yarn in these collars. So if you know of any, let me know. I've already got this, so I should just use it. But if you know of any self-striping, that would be super fun. But I wasn't able to find any. So I thought I would just work something up with this, but I'm not sure exactly how I'm gonna do it. I don't really wanna do an all black sock because who wants to work with all black yarn? Not me. I did do black heels, toes, and cuffs on the finished object that I showed you earlier for another Christmas gift. But those, I'm like blind, I think. I don't know. I have a lamp, one of the bright ones. I can't remember what they're called. You can get them at Joann's and places like that. I need to hook it up, I guess, if I'm going to do an all black sock, because I'm going to need it to be able to see the stitches. But I thought about doing an all black sock with heels, toes, and cuffs in the yellow. I could try to stripe them, but I don't, that seems like a lot of work. And then I might have the pooling. I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I just suck it up, do an all black sock with the yellow heels, toes, and cuffs? I think that's probably going to look the best. And then if I do that, should I do like blueberry waffles or something? Or just not even worry about a texture pattern since it's all black? I don't know, because I've never done an all black sock. So should I do some texture on it or no? Just plain vanilla. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know. Let me know, please. Give me some input, advice on this. So that is what these are for. Some of this black, which I do have some other black as well. For the socks that I showed you earlier, I over ordered accidentally. I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. No, I think we're good, maybe. Okay, I over ordered that yarn. Accidentally, like I said. I thought I'll use it for heels, toes, and cuffs. So I have some extra black. If I do an all black sock, I'll have plenty, because I do need a little bit of this black for another project. The sapphire heather that I ordered, along with a tiny bit of the white and a tiny bit of the black. Can anyone guess what would have these collars? What? Any guesses? Let me just show you what would have these collars. I'm gonna show you this picture, then I'm gonna show you a better picture, because my printer decided to run out of ink as I printed the last page, which is the first page of the pattern. And this is a free pattern on Ravelry. Da da da. Oh my goodness. Are you excited? I'm excited. Look at these. I saw Tabby from Hey Sister Podcast is making these for herself, I believe. These are gonna be for my husband for his birthday, which is in January, the end of January. Let me show you a better picture. And he does not know, I don't think he watches. If he does, it won't be a surprise anymore, but oh well. Yeah, look. I'm beyond excited. I want some for me. I have a feeling my boys are both gonna want some. They're great. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited. I cannot wait to cast these on. It is going to kill me to have to wait until after Christmas. I really should not have ordered the yarn already, but I had to. I had to. So that is what those colors will be for. And this was the closest I could find to like a TARDIS blue, so I think it'll work. Tabby's look great, and I totally copied her, went to her projects page to see what she was using, and just ordered the same blue because I thought hers looked wonderful. I loved the color of them, and they looked great. So that is what the blue is for. And I did order extra. I ordered 3. I'm not gonna need 3 for his socks, I don't believe. 2 should be plenty. But now I'll have extra if the boys decide they want one, or heels, toes, and cuffs. Heels, toes, and cuffs, crazy. I love changing colors for heels, toes, and cuffs. Okay, let me put this back in here. All right, big bag of yarn. Okay, the next 2 things are not things that I ordered. This first one I won in a giveaway. Pandia's Jewels has a Ravelry group, and if you are not a member, go over and join. She does knit-alongs, and she does have one going on right now for anything that you make. I think it's for the month of November. So if you start anything November 1st or after and finish it before the end of November, I believe that's the end date, I could be wrong, you can enter it over there. So just go over there and check that out, because I won the October giveaway. There were quite a few prizes, and I won one of them. And I won the Zombie Jane Austen project bag. Let me fluff it up a bit here. It's Been down in the package waiting to be shown. Look how fun this is. And then, wait for it, look at the back. I love the fabric. It is so fun. All the text and the little zombie. Oh my gosh, that's cute. And the handle. And it's one of the boxy bags, and the inside fabric is cute too. So this is fun. This will be perfect for socks. That's definitely what I'm gonna use this for. It's perfect sock size. So I won that, and that was super fun. Who doesn't love winning a giveaway? The next package that I got is from Olivia of This Handmade Life. Yes, This Handmade Life. I was afraid I was gonna mess that up. From This Handmade Life, she had asked me a while back if she could send me some minis. And I got some minis. She sent this cute card with a super sweet note and the minis that she sent. I'm gonna try to hold them all up at once. I won't go through them all. Look how cute those are. They're so tiny. I think this one is my favorite. Not sure what it is. But I love those. So thank you so much, Olivia. I love those. My Cozy Memories has just been calling my name all the time because of all the fun minis I've gotten from friends. That just makes it, I mean, it's great and it's fun to put your own stuff in there from your stash and the memories of things that you have made, but getting them from friends is just super, super fun. It just makes it a whole another level of excitement, I think, because minis are just so cute. Which, that is the end of goodies that I got. And that kind of brings me to the next thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about. I posted a picture on Instagram. I was winding some minis that'll be going out in some swaps in different packages this week. And doing them in the little balls. Getting them in the balls is awesome because I love, you can just work right off of them. You don't have to worry about winding them into a ball, or I showed y'all the board that my husband made. So you don't have to mess with that. You can just work right from the ball. Love them. The cute little minis though, they are super cute. I mean, just look at that. They're cute, they're tiny, they're gorgeous. Winding them into the ball does hurt my hand when you have to do a bunch. Now, if it's just one little bit going out, not a big deal, but I have quite a few things going out this week that I need to send minis with. So I had a lot to wind up in my fancy Ziploc bag here, but I had a lot to do. All those minis. I did those on Saturday, Sunday maybe, I think. Yeah, it was Sunday, I think. I had questions about how I did it. Now, this is not my original way of coming up with it. The Knitting Broomstick, her latest podcast, she talked about how she winds her minis. I think she'd had a question about it or something, and if I'm not mistaken, she saw Mina Philipp do it on the Knitting Expat podcast. I hope I'm not wrong about that. I believe that's where she said she heard it from. So I wanted to show you guys a little bit of how I did it, because I did have some people that were like, oh, I wish, you could show me how to do that. And maybe I will do like a full tutorial video on how to wind them, but I thought it would just be easy to go through it really quick. So let me move some stuff out of the way to get to the minis. So the ones that I did, the only problem that I am having with them, and this, won't affect me as I'm sending them out, but if anyone else does the board idea, here's another thing to think about. The minis that I'm doing, I brought my board over to show you. I guess I'll unwind one of these. Look how cute. It took lots of practice, guys, but I got it. I figured it out. Okay, so I'll go take this off. Okay, here's my board. here's the little tiny mini that I got from the way that I did them. Obviously, that doesn't fit on the board. So I thought what I might do is maybe have my husband add 2 more pegs for smaller minis. So if you're thinking about this board project for yourself to do or your husband to do, maybe think about that as well, because for my larger minis, it works just fine. And not really larger minis, but ones that are just wound different. The way I wound them, it was wound on something smaller. So I guess maybe I could find something a little bit longer to wind them on. But the way that I did mine, they came out very small. So I think I'm gonna have him do 2 more pegs, like midway down. And I think that will work. That'll do the job, and it won't mess with having a larger mini at all. It won't hurt that at all. So I might just have him do that, maybe in a little bit from the edge. And then I can use the smaller minis, because that's the only problem I've had with the way that I've done them. Okay, now the way that I did them, and like I said, this is how Jilly from the Knitting Broomstick said that she did hers. And this scale, I've got a little kitchen scale, and I just purchased this at Walmart. It does grams, ounces, all of that good stuff. So what I did, I used a ruler, just a plain old ruler, took the ruler and weighed it. Write down how much your ruler weighs so that you don't forget. So then once you know how much your ruler weighs, take your yarn that you're wanting to wind into a mini. The way that I did it was took one end of the yarn, had it on the front of the ruler. I don't know how well you can see that there. The ruler is kind of dark with the dark yarn. Probably not the best choice to show you. But this is where the end is, and I'm holding it with my finger, if you can't see that. That's better right there, I think. Okay, so I did that, and then I just went around and wound onto the ruler. And I just kept going like this, all the way around. And then once I got a good bit on there, this is obviously not enough, but I won't sit here and wind a full one. I just weighed the ruler again to see what it was at. I did my minis, I usually do them. For my blanket, I only need 5 grams, but I know some people need 8, 7, 8. So I did all of mine about 8 or 9 grams. So I just kept wrapping until I weighed it, and it evened out to be the ruler plus the 9 grams, or however large of a mini you were doing. So once I had that, you just, well, what I did first, before I took it off, cut the yarn, loop it through, tie a little, knot so that it doesn't come unwound. Then you just take it off the ruler and twist it. I won't show you with this because it's not actually done, but I have this one that I undid. So you can see where I just looped both the ends. I took the ends that I had started with and where the yarn ended and just kind of looped them around, secured them just like any other mini that you get. Take it, one finger through, and start twisting. And then I put my thumb, and then it will kind of start to wind up. Then you take one end and pull it through the other. There you go. You have a mini. If anyone wants a more detailed tutorial, I'm happy to attempt to do one. If you have any more questions about it, just let me know. Like I said, this was not my original idea, way to work it up. I had no idea. This is the first time I'd ever wound them like this. I've always just done them in the balls when I've sent them out. But the last time I had a bunch of packages to send out, my hand, my forearm, and my elbow hurt from like winding the minis into balls because I had quite a bit that I needed to send out. So I thought I would try it this way and see if it was any easier on my hands and my arm. And it definitely was. I got all of these done that day. That's a lot of minis. And this will actually probably be more than I need to send out, but I'll have them for when I need to send out future minis. So yeah, that is how I did mine. And if you have any questions about it, just let me know. Any questions about the board? I did have Sarah from Hooks and Books is gonna have her husband make one up. So yay, super exciting. And I told her she will love it because it is just wonderful for your minis. But yes, Sarah, I should probably message you and tell you maybe put some pegs in the middle for your smaller minis. Just a thought so that you can do 2 size minis, because I know some seem to come in the smaller and some larger. So that way you could use it for both. I think that is all I wanted to talk about with the mini winding. Podcast love. I did not do this last week. I just totally blanked and forgot. My goodness, I talked forever. Thank you to those that actually stuck through and watched the entire podcast last time. I felt like it was insanely long, but so many people said they liked the longer podcast, which it's funny because I like watching longer podcasts. Love watching it. Or them. When they're longer, I don't care. Like I said last week, I love it. I pause, I go do something, I come back. Not a big deal to me. But I don't know why I had a little bit of anxiety about putting out a longer podcast. I was so nervous that there would be people that were like, oh, that was way too long. But everybody said they didn't mind it, so that was wonderful. But yeah, last week I forgot to do podcast love. I talked about so much stuff. There was so much to show y'all. I just totally forgot. So this week I wanted to make sure that I do that. The first one that I want to mention is Meg from Bad Wolf Girl Sits and Knits, another Doctor Who fan. So yay, Meg. I don't know. I'm sure you've said which Doctor is your favorite, but I cannot remember. 10 is the best Doctor. And I know Tabby, I believe, from Hey Sister, I believe she agrees with that. I think 10 is the best. David Tennant. I could watch all the seasons with David Tennant and I wouldn't get bored. I love him. Okay, anyways, Meg. Love Meg. She is super sweet. She's always working on such cute, fun things. And she's mentioned me a few times. So thank you so much, Meg, for the wonderful shout outs. And we're Instagram friends. And I love watching her. And she just got married. She was a gorgeous bride. She's gorgeous anyways. But her as a bride, Meg, you were gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. She has a little puppy. He's 6 months now. She just posted a picture. I know that because she posted a picture the other day holding him, and he was 6 months, and he is so big. Oh my gosh, he's big. He might give my German Shepherd a run for her money size-wise because he's a big boy. So yes, thank you, Meg, for all the wonderful shout outs and all the likes and comments on Instagram. It's fun getting to know new people that way. And I also wanted to mention, and I know that everybody is talking about her. Everybody has watched her. But if you're living under a rock, maybe, I don't know, you have not heard of Amber from the Yarn Hoarder podcast, look her up now. Pause me, go look her up because she is amazing. She blows my mind with the amount of stuff she can crank out. Like, she blows my mind. Like I said earlier, she was a total enabler when it came to all the things that I cast on here lately because she posted a picture, and then on her last podcast, she showed 15 sock whips. 15, I believe, is the total she said she had. That blows my mind. I want to be like Amber when I grow up. I do. I want to be like Amber when I grow up into knitting. I want to cast on all the socks and get them all done. She breezes through them. She uses mainly 9-inch circulars, which I believe that's what she mainly uses. I think that's what I see on most of her socks. She does do some magic loop. She breezes through them. It will blow your mind. And her stash, can we just talk about her stash for a minute? I want a wall of yarn behind me. Like, her stash is amazing. Absolutely amazing. And she does a themed segment every week on her podcast, which I totally love. Last week it was weaving looms for like pot holders. So yes, definitely check out Amber from the Yarn Hoarder podcast. And her laugh. Amber's laugh, I could just go on about Amber. Her laugh is so contagious. She has the best laugh, the absolute best laugh. She's someone I would just love to sit and knit and giggle with because she just seems so super sweet. So that is my podcast love this week. And that's really all I've got for y'all this week. This week ahead, I've got a lot of knitting stuff going on coming up. And I've kind of been thinking about podcasting every 2 weeks. I think I'm gonna just kind of go with it and see next Tuesday if I feel like podcasting I will, or if time's kind of gotten away with me, I won't. But to do a podcast, it does take up that whole day usually. I mean, I get some housework done and I'll get some knitting done here and there, but it takes, you've got setting up, you've got recording, you've got taking down, you've got uploading, editing, and then uploading to YouTube. And it usually does take a bit. But last week my podcast uploaded so fast. It was so much longer. I thought this is gonna take 2 days because it usually takes 12 to 17 hours to upload from my computer to YouTube. Last week, I started it at probably 5:50 in the morning, and it was up by a little after lunchtime or before lunchtime, right around that time. So it went super fast. I don't know what the deal was, but yes, it usually takes up quite a bit of time to get it done. And I've had a good bit to show you each week, obviously, because these podcasts are longer. And I hate to do every 2 weeks because they might be longer. I don't know, but it does just take up that whole day. So I don't know. I'm just going to kind of go with it and see. So if you don't see one from me on a Tuesday, just know I'll come back the next Tuesday with even more. And I'll always keep you guys updated on Instagram. But we'll just see how it goes because things are getting busier now that we've been here longer. We're getting more involved in things. Austin has basketball tryouts this afternoon, so he's going to have that. And I don't know when his practices, if he makes the team. They're only taking 10 boys. But if he makes the team, you know, he'll have practices and games, and that'll be taking up more time. We're just getting more involved in our community, I guess you could say. The boys' school and things. So that's taking up more time, and I just don't want things to become too overwhelming. So if it goes to every 2 weeks, I hope y'all will still stick with me and enjoy a little longer episode every 2 weeks maybe. But knitting stuff this next week. Tomorrow I'm going down to Swansboro, North Carolina to the Salty Sheep yarn shop, and I'm going to take a brioche class. And I'm so excited. I have a new friend, Tanya, that is in my knitting group, and she is going to be taking it as well with one of her other friends. So I'm excited to get to spend some time with her, get to know her a little better, and take the class. I've been wanting to learn brioche, but I don't know. I think I would do better at a class where I could ask questions because there are so many people. Some people breeze through brioche and don't seem to have a problem, but I have seen quite a few people that are insanely good knitters that have had some difficulties with brioche. So I think a class would be wonderful. So I'm going to go down there tomorrow and do that. I'm not sure of the exact pattern, but it is a cowl, I believe. So I'm excited to see what that is and take the class. So that is what I will be doing tomorrow morning. And then tomorrow evening, I have a knitting group that I started here in Havelock shortly after I moved here. And we've just been meeting in the mornings on Fridays at a little, was it a coffee shop? Now it's like a little cafe type place, I guess. But we've just been doing Fridays, and I have had a few people request evening meetings. So tomorrow evening will be our first evening meeting. So I've got that. Luckily, my husband is still on days for this month when he goes to evenings. We'll see how that goes. The boys would always go with me and Yuma to my evening meetings, but they get up a little bit earlier for school here. So to end that at 8 and then have to come home and get them ready for bed can just be a little bit much. So we'll see how the participation is for an evening meeting, and we'll see how the boys do when my husband is back on evening shift and not home to handle the household. So I've got that tomorrow, and then Friday morning, my normal knit morning. So lots of knitting, I guess, will be happening tonight. I'll probably have to take a ferry ride over to pick Austin up if my husband's not out of work in time. So that'll give me some knitting time while I'm on the ferry and waiting on him to get out of tryouts. And I'm just crossing my fingers he does good. He's so excited. This is his very first time trying out for a sport. He's done t-ball and things before, but they're with like the YMCA. You know, you don't have to try out for those. So this is his first time trying out, and I'm nervous for him. He's excited. I think he's a little nervous too because he's never played basketball before, other than we have a basketball hoop, you know, but never in a team, competitive, just out shooting hoops with us is all he's done. So I'm nervous and excited for him, and they'll find out next Monday if they made it. So my fingers are crossed for him that it goes well. And that's about it. I would like to have my sister's mitts done by next time I record, if it is next Tuesday. If it's 2 weeks from now, I'd better have them done. But I would definitely like to have those done and maybe be started on the second sock on the other things that I have going on, and my 2 at a time socks maybe be past the heel. I think setting these little goals does keep me accountable most of the time, because I want to have those things to then show you. Like these socks, I thought, oh, I said last time I was going to have them done, so I have to have them done to show them. So that's why I did that, or I probably would have worked on something else. So I think that does keep me accountable most of the time. Yeah, all swap and giveaway packages, if you're expecting anything from me, those will be out by the end of this week. So you will be expecting those sometime next week. So with that, I'm going to get off here. I'm going to finish my tea, get this mess cleaned up, get laundry finished, get this uploaded and edited. Tuesdays are always a busy day, it seems like. So I'm going to get off here and get going and get moving. And I hope that you all have a great week. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you get lots of knitting done, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.